All right, welcome back for part two of our 12-hour stream. So this is what, 2.5 hours in? 2 hours 45 minutes in to the scheduled time. So the next hour or so, we're going to be working on the Ega Minor map that we've been working on in the Monday/Wednesday night modding series for the last couple of weeks. So we just did our community matches. I'm saying all this for the benefit of anyone who's watching it later, but so I'm going to be putting up, it's been asked a few times throughout the stream, so the way this is going to work is instead of leaving the whole 12 hours up as a single VOD on YouTube, I'm going to be cutting it up, and each section will be put up separately throughout the week. So the community matches should be going up tomorrow. On Monday, we'll probably upload the this mapping portion, and we'll do RimWorld, and then the Black Fleet Crisis, and then Prison Architect, I think, is after that. And then finally, there's going to be an hour of Fall of the Republic at the end. So that's going to be 11 p.m. EST, and I'm sure that's probably what most people are looking forward to. But this is the Yaga Minor map for Imperial Civil War, and it's going to be in Fall of the Republic as well. I'm not sure if Yaga Minor actually will be in too many places for that, but we will see. Yeah, so I just ate my yogurt. That's all I've eaten so far today, and probably most of what I'm gonna eat for the day until like midnight when I'm gonna make chicken later. So it's all gonna be fine. But yeah, so in the last stream that we did this, we did all the texturing and props in this area, and I'm pretty happy with how all this is set up right now. What I do want to do first, let's get in there. So that all looks okay. What I wanted to set up next is a little inlet where you capture the sensor array. So that's what we're going to work on over here. So you can either go straight up into the base this way, or you go over this way for some of the capturable stuff. So we're going to set that up now. Is that in ground structure? Sensor array? No. I forget where all the capturable stuff is. Hold on. I know there are other maps where it exists, so I'm going to look at one of those, and I'm going to get the actual prop name before I do this. Sorry, I'm loading up another map. It doesn't show the load bar on here, so I am clicking stuff. You just can't see it. Which map am I going to load up? Art. Maps. Does Yavin have one? Yavin does, I think, but I'm not sure. Terraform. It's in secondary, not ground. That makes sense. Abandoned. Yeah, I think this is it. I'm going to place it there. Switch it around that way. So we're going to sort of build that area around that being there. I'm going to do all the texturing on the way here. And that's not the same one, but that's... No, that's too cliffy. Is this the same? No. Yeah, nope. That's better. So we're going to work on the little path up to there, just so it has some consistency, and then we'll work on some of the props in that area. This should be a little bit smaller. No, other smaller. Other smaller. There we go. And I'm going to go through a bit later on my own with a height brush and smooth out some of the cliff or some of the ramps here. It's just that would be especially tedious for a stream, so I'm not going to bother doing that on stream. I've been trying to work on it between the streams a little bit. That way you guys can see generally how the process works without having to deal with all the little minutia. We sort of want to follow a path there. And we'll have to go through and do a lot more granular stuff as well. But really you just want to like block out all the main details. When will you upload the Fall of the Republic VOD? I'm not sure what the schedule for that's going to be. It'll be at some point in the week. See how late, because I don't intend to record anything after this for tomorrow. So it'll be, tomorrow we'll have a couple, probably 2 videos, 2 of the VODs from today up. And I'm thinking it's going to be the community match and either Prison Architect or RimWorld. And then Monday or Tuesday we'll have another, because I don't want to put out too much EAW on one day. What did we use over here? I just want to make sure I stay fairly consistent. It was this one? Yeah, this one. I'm going to line some of the hills with that a little bit. And this is going to be more of a worn down area. Actually, we could do kind of a little complex. So if we were to just have this be an actual base, nah, I don't like that. We won't do that. I do want it to be kind of worn down extra. Gotta do my Bob Ross the whole time. I don't know, that's not really Bob Ross, but just soft spoken. Play some happy little props. Is this high? Oh, is this high enough for it to be? Yeah, I think so. I do want to. I'm gonna set that a little bit higher behind it. So let's increase all of that. I keep pressing the Windows key. I'm going to do these as slightly different from the main mountains around it, and then it's all going to be forest behind it. It's going to come up through there. There'll be some division. And keep in mind, this yellow marker is where all the stuff is off map. So we don't want to overdo it on stuff back there for performance. You just want to have it as like a backdrop so that when people are looking that way, they don't just see the edge of the map. Which is why we did those hills back here. So it looks like it goes off into just more hills. Okay, that should be good enough for some smaller rocky hills. Adrian! We're hills now! I've never actually seen any of the Rocky movies, so I just know that we did. So you wouldn't really have the same kind of blending of grass in there on the cliff face. So we'll make that fairly solid. A lot of these are the new textures too. The updated ones that Knickers did. Have it sort of... See, that doesn't look very natural to me. Yeah, this is easily my least favorite part of the map right now. What even is this? The river rock? No, it's still cliff. This is probably a better texture for all this. Let's get rid of that. Don't like it. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. We can work that more into other textures in the forest around it. Okay. And so that's all right. Where is this guy? A little bit small. I'm gonna put on the point brush. Or the noise brush, where is it? Here it is, and I'm gonna scale it down a little bit. Oh no, that doesn't scale down very well, does it? Well, we want to use it a little bit more back here. This is gonna be all foresty. And we're not gonna put as much into the stuff back here, like I said, just because it kind of needs to be a bit bolder. Like you don't see as much of the variation, so you kind of want anything you do to be a bit more pronounced off the map. All right, so we're gonna grab all the tree types. Make sure it all goes on the list. It's all the same tree anyways. 0, maple 1, maple 3, maple 2. All right, now we go spray our brush. And put a few maples in, and we're gonna go to the clusters after this. So let's go to this one, and here's the clusters. Then you can place a bunch with only one object. We're also going to start using some of the no shadow ones, potentially. Like it's not as important now because computers tend to be a bit more powerful. They can handle the shadows a little bit better, but some of the ones, especially at the back, we'll do without. What is your favorite ground map? I don't know. That's tough. There's like favorite aesthetically, then there's favorite gameplay wise, and I don't know that I have one either way. Okay, let's get the maples. Maple 1 cluster. Maple 2 cluster. And where's the tree? Wait, it's really not that. It's just the thing is because we got to make sure that when you're looking out this way, you're not going to see the edge of the map, which you still can. So I kind of want to use the canopy, which I don't love using, but just to line the edge here. So it looks like there's a bit more going on than there actually is. Oh, that's a bit too far off the edge. There, because it kind of looks more like you're looking out into a forest this way. Because you're never going to see that far out that way. Oh, yeah, Mulets. No. I definitely have a least favorite map. Put some giant trees in. Okay. Nope, not that many giant trees. Alright, let's get a couple rocks in. And we'll do ground cover after this as well. Let's turn the base. Because we kind of got to work our way backwards from here. So we're just going to be filling in this area. Where's the AT-AT? I need you. I just want to see how much room we actually have in these spaces. Because I want it to be somewhat open, but I still want to have like some stuff going on in the middle. And we'll have to go back and play some of these like smaller ferns and stuff later too. And we'll have something between the two ferns as well. There. And back down to the temperate so we can add our maples. Want a couple red ones mixed in there. No, that's kind of gross. That's kind of gross. Nope, not noise. Additive. It's possible to have more three factions fighting against. I've never tried to set up a fourth team. I don't know if the game would actually recognize it. Like, there are ways you could fake it, but it wouldn't be really what you're looking for. This is not foresty enough for me. See what does temperate have any other? Yeah, the palm trees. No, I don't want palm trees. Yeah, just the maples really that we want. Okay, maple 0, maple 1, maple 2. Wait, does he have the... Oh, this is not what we want. I just want what I want. I don't want anything else. Still a couple duplicates in there. We'll probably have to clean some of that up. But we've got a lot of our trees in. I'm gonna... If I can add a couple of these to the list. And we'll keep placing them just along the edge here. Is it just... No? I'm gonna have it be a little bit more dense along this side. So we're gonna obscure the, isn't what I want either. Obscure the little infantry only path. Just a little bit. Alright, there we go. Let's get back to this. So I'm going to edit the textures just under these, so that they make a little bit more sense where everything is. Oh, this needs to go back over here. So you didn't. Are you able to make waterfalls in the AW map editor? Also, if you have to make any things that could create lag on the map, can it make the run crash? If you run out of system resources, it could. You can't really make waterfalls directly. You'd have to use the top spray prop and fake it with particles and everything, which can be very resource intensive. One of the reasons we had to change the old Yavin map that we had was because there was too many waterfall top spray things. So we had to get rid of those. Alright, there we go. I want a few rocks. Not the biggest one. Where's the temperate rocks? That's what I want. Temperate rock cluster. There we go. Drop them in the middle there. We've already got a couple hanging around the edge here. So I want to go too crazy with it. The texturing in this area is less than ideal. I don't like that one. I don't love that one either. It's one of my least favorite ones in the game. Yeah, we need a bit more of this. I'll probably have to go through and I'll scale down some of the textures as well. Because in game, some of that, when you're up close, it can look huge. Because where's that AT-AT? You gotta figure when you're in game, it's probably like this. So you can really see individual bits of grass, and I don't love that. If you scale it down, it looks a little bit better to me. What sports do you watch? I don't really watch any actual sports. I watch some like esports, but that's it. Like I watch a lot of League, LCS. I've occasionally watched hockey, but I don't really enjoy it. Like I played ball hockey, but when I was a kid, but I was never super into sports in general, so get a couple more ground covers in this area. Some of the other ones. Where's that grass? Okay, so that's good there. And let's get another couple rocks in on this area. Other props for broken down vehicles. There are the death clones. So if a vehicle has a death clone, then you can generally place that as a prop. So where is it? Actually, no, I don't think... I think it would still have to animate the death. But there are some destroyed vehicles. There's like a lat. Where's the lat? Generic? Yeah, there's the Calamity Wreck there. There's the Crash Shuttle. Here's the one I was talking about. There's that kind of stuff. I'm gonna put one there just for fun. Doesn't make as much sense in Fall of the Republic, but hey. Easter egg. Crates. Let's place a few crates around here to make it look like this was an actual outpost of some kind. Let's texture away some of the edge of these mountains. Actually, I should probably add a little bit there. So that's not bad. There's going to be some like trees running up the mountains and all that stuff too. Like this area especially is relatively flat. So we'll probably have some growth on there. I'm not going to focus too much on that now, just sort of laying out what it'll look like. A little bit of that's a bit too... Yeah, we still want it to look kind of rocky, even in the parts where it's got some other growth. Rock. I'm going to do that a little bit around the base of these mountains as well. Just for a bit of a transition. And for part of the path going up to this. Alright. That's good. Make sure that it's not too uniform in any of these areas. Okay, so we've got it pretty decent up through this main part of the map. It's a little bit open. We'll probably have a few build pads there and some walls. Got that infantry only path. Maybe we'll work on this a little bit now. the grass rock. We had grass flower. Ooh, mud. We're not really going to work on passability yet, but I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like. So, passability code brush. This is how you tell the game where you can and can't move. This is the original bounds of the map, so this red line. So we got to get rid of that. We'll get rid of that now. So green is anything can go there. Red is steep, so that's where like flying vehicles can go. Then there's water for that's blue, which you put in there. That's where speeders can go, and it'll still hover above the water. Then there's infantry only, which is what we're doing on this little path here. This is where only infantry can go. And I'm less concerned about getting it perfect right now because we're going to be going back through with the steep brush. And we're going to be clearing up the edges with that. Just want to show you guys what the tool looks like. There we go. This is how we get our path where only infantry can go up the wall. And we'll get rid of this thing. All right, so back to what we were doing. How long has it taken to make that? This has been probably 4 hours, 5 hours so far. I don't like using the clusters when there's elevation changes. Otherwise, they just float like that. It's not uncommon for a ground map, especially an urban one, to take like 40 hours, 30, 40 hours. It's a pretty time-consuming thing. Where are you, grass rock? My new favorite texture. Brown dirt. I don't like that one as much. Oh, that one. There we go. Good enough. For people who are looking to get into modding, I really do think that mapping is one of the best ways to do it. The tools are the most accessible. A lot of the stuff kind of transfers over from other games, and there's a very clear indication of what you're doing now and how that kind of ties into what you end up seeing in game. Like the map is the map. Which isn't to say it's easy to do, like easy to do well, but I do think it's the most accessible. Like that. With the stuff, a lot of stuff like modeling, you kind of have to understand topography, how the verts all work, how polys work, how stuff will actually render once it's in game, and like not have mesh errors. But with the maps, the map is the map. This at least looks kind of mossy, so I'm trying to add in some extra stuff like that. Keep it fairly rocky, but yeah, generally we start from scratch. The only time we'd edit stuff is if we're trying to like convert stuff from the base game. There are a few maps we have in the mod that are like the mission maps that are re-edited or edited just to be compatible with Galactic Conquest with all the markers and stuff. Rogue did a bunch of those for 2.2. Because a lot of the maps are really good, they're just not set up for GC. And that's what we're trying to get the maps for. I added some of the maps in IGW for myself. If you just extract them from the map tag, you can do whatever you want with them in your copy. Alright, fairly happy with that. Get some more rocks in there. Alright, so that's all decent. I want to get more done on this. So let's get the texturing done up just to the front of the hill. Where is the cliff we were using? Brass rock. This is the one I was looking for before. I'm gonna go and put some of this in the back, or like at the start of the map too. I've been using a lot of it, and those rocks look a little bit big on this scale, so let's scale that down a little bit more. And just work some of this into the front. There, that'll make it a little bit more consistent as you go from one part of the map to another. This is a pretty high concentration of them, but I'm gonna smooth that one out a little bit. Add in some of these guys. Under the trees, it shouldn't be directly rock. Alright, so that gets us about to the start. So I'm going to start putting a couple more trees in. We can get a few more rocks. This one I'm going to put in just there, because that'll look like it's more part of the hill. And let's go with another smaller set down here. And one of these guys right in there. Have it just sticking out a little bit. Might be a good place for a fern or two. Right. That's not bad. What kind of tree? I wanted to put a tree kind of off the side here. So I'll angle it a little bit. And I'm going to put a little group of rocks in there as well. Have it look more like an outcropping. I want to do kind of the same thing over here. There's a rock slide prop as well. I don't want to use it really. We're going to have some stuff going on in there. Let's get one of the other maples. Put that in. And we'll get one of the deciduous trees. Or deciduous trees. I'm going to put this one on a bit of an angle there. And where is a bigger rock? I wanted this one. We're going to have a version of that in behind right there. There we go. Unlimited foliage. I'll just start placing some of these guys up on here. Actually, this needs to be a different kind of tree. Otherwise it looks a little bit too similar. So with these, you can see where it says obstacle, and that puts the passability automatically. I'm just going to set it manually to all be steep. Okay, so now we're going to add a couple extra rocks in the mountains. That moves, I'm going to do that. So that it looks a little bit more actual stuff going on in there. And let's change the angle of that a little bit. Yep, this is EAW map making. There we go. So with that, we've pretty much got from this stream up to the start of the hill pretty much done. That's not bad. I'd like to have something on the other side of this, because that's actually fairly flat, so it won't even take that much to do. Let's just get some of the other stuff in there. Work that in a little bit. Let's just go straight down to the water. Where's the river rock? There, so we can get a couple more. These guys. I need to do a little bit more with the rocks over in the areas we were just working on as well, but. A lot of that will come up into the actual mountain too. You can go a little bit more like that. I'll move it down as well. Nope, here. No. There we go. And where's the next one? Let's say this one. Fall of the Republic is the Thrawn's Revenge Clone Wars mod. We announced it last year that we were bringing it back, and we've done a couple news posts for it, but this is the first time that we're ever going to be really showing anything from it. Like actual gameplay of any sort. Alright, there's that. It's a bit too big, so let's see if we can finagle this in. Yep. There we go. That's good. How do you make like a cave or a hangar? You can't really do interior terrain. You'd either have to put props over the actual terrain, or just like do the walls and leave it open. But you can't make it so that's why the bridges, they have to be set up with props under them. I'd like to do more with water on this map, but we've already got a lot of that pretty much set up. The elevation's too high. Okay, so that's good. Some people fishing out there. Make a dock prop. Alright. Fairly happy with that. I want to do a few more trees going up that, actually. So we'll sort of lay out the path for those. So a lot of these mountains were designed to be sort of tiered. Just so we can have something going on other than Pier Mountain the whole way up. So we'll get the mountains done with that. And this needs to be cliffed in. Get some of the texture variation along those. So it's going to sort of transition from grassy rock into the muddy grass areas. Then a lot of the same principles for texturing maps kind of apply to texturing ships and stuff. So it's a good start for getting into 3D art as well. We're gonna have to come back up and deal with a lot of those changes too. Make all maps in Republic GC have turbo lasers placements or the backward. It'll be similar to however we end up doing it for ICW, because we do want to change how a lot of that works, but we don't want to... We're not 100% decided on how we want to handle it, so it'll depend on a lot of the ground changes in general. Let's get another variation of that. And we'll get a deciduous tree type, or deciduous trees. Especially for these outcroppings, I want to change the angle a little bit more. Alright, and now we can go in with some rocks. Nope, I want that one. Thank you. I don't know that we'll ever hit 1,000,000. Thank you. I'm going to put a little bit of this in throughout the mountains, just because it's a slightly different tone, so it breaks up some of the monotony. It's mostly the specular map on that is a little bit different, so it plays with the light a little bit differently. All right. Thanks, others. Appreciate it. I want to move that. How's it going? We're going to be coming back up, like doing this part properly. So you don't want to go too in-depth with this right now. That's going to be more done on its own as well. Just mostly focusing on the actual mountain bits. All right. I'm not thrilled about how this looks. I guess it actually looks a little bit better close up, but it still looks kind of weird. I'd wanna... Nope, that's texture. The height in. There, smooth that out a little bit more. Well, I kind of figure if we get an average of 30 subs a day, which is relatively high for the channel, then we could hit, I think, 17,000 by the end of the year. That'd be nice. I feel like that's a nice, like, fairly ambitious, but potentially doable goal for the channel. 17,000 by the end of December. I try not to think too much long term because you never know what's going to happen. Like, channel could just fall apart, could explode, something could go differently in life, who knows. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. So that's good. It leaves the main base and the path up to the base over here. So we'll probably be doing something a bit more urbanized up here. I've still got to figure out exactly how I want to handle that. But we've got a lot of the mountains done. I think we'll do the rest of these mountains and then that'll be it for, not for the stream, but for this bit. So another about 10 minutes, then we'll take another short break and we'll get into RimWorld after that. Trying to match this up to where we have the textures. So it doesn't look like there's just a tree growing out of a rock. So that is not ideal. Generally not how trees work. Now let's get the other kind of deciduous tree. Okay. Same rock type. You ever created some maps that have not made it into a mod? Well, I've made a bunch of the maps that I made originally. There's some that I've just scrapped halfway through development, some that were in earlier versions of the mod, and then we've cut them. Like, a lot of the ones I made for the first few versions were cut. We pretty much probably 75% of the maps that were in 2.15 were cut before 2.2 released, and we went back to using a lot of the vanilla maps because the vanilla maps were pretty good. Yeah, I hate that texture. Let's not use that texture. There's a lot of them are still in the files. We took them out of the rotation. With this, it might even be better. I think I will have to do some of the smoothing before we can do a lot of the texturing and all that stuff for the ramps up to the base. So yeah. That'll be something that I have to get done between... Well, I guess I can texture it and then smooth it out, but let's try to get some of that done right now. Because that is all stuff that I'm going to do more off screen. We'll just focus on this side. Try to blend it in with the mountains a little bit better. And I still haven't decided if it's going to be like super urban up here or what, so we won't commit too much just yet. I don't like those textures either. Oh, no, this is the hard edge one. I'm trying to go mostly with the grass textures that kind of blend in a little bit better with those. But I do feel like it was a bit better over here, too. There was... No, not that one. Yeah, this one's alright. Let's go along the edge of the mountain again. Okay, get some of those guys in. Right, that definitely needs to change. It's more aligned with the other side. And this one works alright for the base of the mountain too. So I'm good with that. And grass rock. Get a little bit of that on this side. Probably overdone it with some of the path there too. That's a good start. Okay, that's good there. I kind of want it to be more forested on this side though. So the path isn't like super wide coming up the hill. So we'll place some props for that and then we'll texture around that. Let's get some of these guys. We'll have it be mostly over here that you're actually traveling. We'll have some of these lining the hill. Thanks for following Modern Creeper. Haven't done too many of these yet. I'm going to do a little bit more kind of dirt in this area too. We can't use as many ground covers on the way up the hill because they clip with the ground more. They don't work well with height, really. And we'll start placing some more rocks in here. It's going to be a little bit tricky doing decent passability in this area, because you want to have it be semi-traversable, but you don't want it to be able to go into the tree lines. You have to sort of make sure that it's a solid border. This is not angled enough. Oh. Z angle. Sorry, Z angle. Correct pronunciation. We'll just have a couple lining the other side here. Coming out a little bit, but not too far, for the same passability reasons. It needs to make sense why people can't go in different areas. You don't want it to look too manufactured. It's really the tricky part. We can like plug up some of these holes with rocks and props and stuff. And that'll help with some of the terrain issues. Alright, and let's grab a fern or 3. Pretty big. Okay. So that's not bad for today. I think we are going to leave this part of the stream here, so we are going to take another quick break. We'll be back at about 4 p.m. EST, so another 10-12 minutes, and we're going to play some RimWorld. So, for everyone watching the VOD, thanks for watching. For everyone on the stream, I will see you in 10 minutes.